Hello, everyone. I am back and happy to be back. So, hello, Facebook. I just want to thank everyone. First of all, I just want to thank everyone who, was kind of riding and rocking with me for the November uh, Black Friday, every day in November, Black Friday days, where I would come out and talk about a black owned business. And that kind of ended kind of abruptly. So what happened was I got a little sick. I had a little cough and I started losing my voice. And I just never fully got into the swing of coming back. So now we're here in December. November is over, but I'm cool with the fact that I didn't make it all the way through the Black Fridays. Thank you for the love. Thank you everyone who's coming on. And that's only because, we can continue to set goals. We shouldn't, get down or get upset when, things don't work out or go our way. That is called life. And, if you get upset or discouraged every time, then you'll never try again. And I think that's the big thing about being in business, about supporting black business, is that, we keep it going, we keep it moving, we keep the fight. You know what I'm saying? We never stop. So I am back, and today I want to talk about something that I planned on talking about in November, but is important and crucial all year long, and that is nonprofit businesses. So I will be the first to say that I call nonprofits pimps of the poor. They do a lot of pimping out there. But but sometimes, nonprofits, I shouldn't say sometimes, but not all nonprofits are just out to pimp the poor. So there is, I think, a movie, a documentary just about how much money is made by nonprofit organizations, and they use us. They use people of color. They use women. They use people who are underserved, and they, count us up and say this is where they live, and these are the numbers, and this is the amount of money we need. And then they get that amount of money, and they hustle it among themselves, and they hustle it among their friends and family. They say something like, oh, well, they need books, so, can you write a book? And then they, give the contract to someone they need. Or like in the huge case of Haiti, they say, oh, they need housing, and they build 2 or 3 houses and give those contracts to friends and family versus actually doing what they said they were going to do for the community, and even better, utilizing the community to do that work, to get those contracts, to provide those products. So there are some nonprofits that I want to highlight. Now, one of the reasons that I was got this idea of working with nonprofits is because I realized with books, and I'm an author, I'm a writer, I should say that. Hello everyone, I'm Stephanie Bridges, and I am an author, writer, entrepreneur. But oftentimes with books, they can, be expensive. And not everyone can afford books, or sometimes for some families, they're not the priority. And we wish reading and education and libraries and books were, among every parent's top number one thing is to make sure their children are reading daily, or make sure they're reading to their children. But that's not the situation. So it's nothing against those children or that child. They are still in need. So I was thinking oh, well, what if I partner with some nonprofits and work with nonprofits to get books in the hands of children who need them, and then also kind of maneuver that around and work with banks as well. And that's going. I mean, it hasn't gone yet, but we're moving in that direction as well. So I'm super excited about that. All the collaborations with the community and with with corporations as well for 2018. But today I want to talk about some nonprofits. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Child Development Council of Franklin County. So one of the reasons, and once I get started, I'm like, oh, I should mention this and that. Let me say that all my children have attended Head Start. Okay, so I received Title 20 and I received assistance so, I could go out to work and, my children would have someone available to take care of them and educate them in a safe place. So, I know they went to John 23rd, CDCFC. They probably hit all the, because I got 4 of them. So, what I'm saying, we had to. But, so CDCFC was one of them, of course. And I think just the service that they provide for young families, young families who maybe are new in the United States of America. Maybe they're trying to learn English. Maybe they're trying to get their GED. Maybe they're trying to get a degree. Maybe they're working and they need a safe place, where their children can go on a daily basis, and their, children can, be receive nutrition and some guidance and some education and some books and everything like that. So I have to say, from a personal note, thank you, Head Start and CDCFC. So CDCFC actually is having a literacy fair. So they had their first kickoff was on Agler. And they are continuing to go to their different Head Start centers around. So the one on Agler was an awesome success. There were so many families, so many people out there. They had the zoo was there, all the different classrooms. They did they were like different books. So when you walked inside, you were like a part of the book. There were lots of books, like they gave children books they could just decide. There was a huge table full of books. They got to choose their books. There was food. And it just kind of showed that when you're in that situation as a young child and you see that it's important to your parents, it's important to your family to go to something that is a literacy fair, to sit down and, learn and to choose books and to listen to stories, then it becomes more important to you. So CDCFC invited me out to their literacy fair, and I was able to read to the youth. So I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited about reading to the youth. It happened in the past. But the thing about it, they actually paid me to come out. So oftentimes, people say, well, do you go to schools? Have you been to such and such school? You should try to get into schools. So schools have budgets. They do have money, and they get to pick and choose what organizations or what businesses that they want to sow into. So I'm super excited that CDCFC decided to sow in a local business, a woman-owned business, a Black-owned business, a small business. So kudos to them for having me out as a guest reader for the youth. So that's the first organization I wanted to shout out was Child Development Council of Franklin County. The second one I want to talk about today is Franklin County Children's Services. So this is like super exciting because this is going on now, and this is something that you can be a part of. I was going to say, hopefully all the great work Franklin County Children's Services does, but I don't even know all the great work that they do. So I can only imagine though. It's definitely not an easy service to provide. It's definitely something that you have to give a lot of thought to as far as, being on the right side of the issues and working hard to keep families strong and together. But they are doing that work, and that's the beauty of it. They're doing that work, And since it is the holiday season, one of the things that they know is really important is actually having culturally appropriate presents and gifts to African American girls. So again, a lot of nonprofits, they say this is the population. We got this many black people between this age, and this is how they came through Franklin County Children's Services. But when it's time to buy those presents, they're going to Target. Or they're going somewhere else, and they're not necessarily buying anything that reflects that young lady and who they are. So Franklin County Children's Services, they said, no, not this year. And I think they started this last year. They started having a Black Girl Magic holiday gift drive. So again, they took the time to say, no, this isn't good enough. This is not going to work for the population that we serve. We want to do something specifically for them. And not only, again, did they do something specifically for them, but they tapped into Black Girl Magic right here as well. So they chose to utilize my books. They bought more than 100 children's books to give to the young ladies. And I'm just, so super excited. And the way this happened, I was actually a part of at a pop-up shop at Miss Melanin Beauty Supply. And that's a Black-owned business that you should definitely check out. I was out there tonight as well. I'll show you what I got. But I was there, and there was someone else who was there from Franklin County Children's Services, and she took my card. She was like, well, we have this event coming up. I'm going to let them know about you. So oftentimes people will take my card and they'll say, I know such and such, or this is going on, and nothing really comes of it. But, she definitely followed through and she made that happen. So I'm so super excited about that. And then tomorrow, I think they've been talking about it on the radio. Tomorrow at Copious, it's from 6 to 8. You can go and you can bring a gift. Or you can also go to Amazon.com and there's a list. And it's holiday, like if you go to the registry, it's holiday wish at at Franklin County Children's Services, or FCCS, I believe. But if you go to their Facebook page, you can definitely find the correct link. So when you go there, you'll see lots of different things that are culturally appropriate that you can purchase for one of the young ladies, or for some of the children. And you don't even have to go to the event. You can actually just purchase it and have it sent directly. My books are there, but there's also a number of other gifts that are there. So I'm going tomorrow, and one of the things that's there on the list is hair supplies. So I went to Miss Melanin Beauty Supply, Black-owned beauty supply store. If you haven't gone, definitely check it out. I went there and I got some hair supplies that I can take tomorrow. So this is my little gift bag. And then I got what did I get? Some shampoo. And then I got some conditioner. And then I got something else. What else did I get? Some more, like a leave-in conditioner. Styler. So if you want to attend tomorrow, there's still time. You can check the list. You can get hair supplies, also dolls, or books with Black main characters. These are things that you can find at your local store to come out and hang out and give back. So I'm super excited about Franklin County Children's Services giving back, and then also utilizing a small business, a local business, a woman-owned business, a Black business. So kudos to them. The next organization is actually a school that I want to talk about, and this is A+ Arts Academy. And actually, I meant to write down the other nonprofit that I actually started working with, and I don't want to say. I think it's Men of Courage. I don't want to say it wrong. But I actually started working with a gentleman. He got a grant, and he works with young men at A+ Arts Academy. And they wanted, something for the young ladies. And they would ask him, well, what about the young ladies? What are you doing? What can you do for the young ladies? So he knew that, I'm a writer, and he thought I would be a good person maybe to be a mentor. And I'm actually a mentor now at, excuse me, at South High School. But we're not going to talk. I'm a writer, author, entrepreneur. So we say that. So when he mentioned it to me, I was like, oh, well, maybe we can write a book. Because that's the first thing that I think of is like, oh, well, maybe with the, young ladies, we can write a book. So we did. We wrote a book entitled Keep the Peace. And he received a grant. He wrote me into the grant. So kudos to that nonprofit organization for, tapping a small business, a Black-owned business, a woman-owned business, a local business. And then I worked with the young ladies, and they actually provided the content for the book. So there are pictures in there, there's some artwork in there, and then they talked about keeping the peace. So some of them did a poem, some of them wrote a story, some of them just, provided information about, their situation and some of the things that they've gone through. So we worked on the book through the grant, and then, we were going to get books to make sure the young ladies who were participants received a book. And then we also did a journal as well. So they would receive a book and a journal. But then A+ Arts Academy, they actually said, you know what? We want to do one better. So we want to get books for the young ladies at the school. So we're, going to have an assembly, and they actually purchased books for all the young ladies at the school, which is such an awesome blessing and an awesome gift for the young ladies who are participants to see their work published, and then to be able to share it with the other young ladies who are there and the students. And then also, it's just such a blessing to me. I mean, I'll be 100% honest that for them to say, yeah, we want to purchase these books that you have created, that you have published from you. So, they purchased a lot of books, and that's A+ Arts Academy. So I'm so super excited about working with them and the work that they're doing. They all are all about the arts and having a community and environment where you can learn, where you can create, and where it's also a peaceful surrounding. So they said, you know what? We see some situations going on, some bullying and some troubling situations, and we actually want to take action and do something about it. So, they are doing something about it by not just providing these books and, allowing their students the opportunity to be published, but they're also going to kick off a mentoring program for the girls, because, the boys have one, and then they're going to kick off one for the girls. So I'm super excited for the young ladies there, and I'm super excited about the work that A+ Arts Academy is doing. They have 3 campuses. Okay. The final nonprofit that I want to mention is actually Ohio Sickle Cell Health Association. And I love Annie. I don't know if I can just say that like that, but she is so so super cool and so super awesome, and she's always definitely looked out for me, as far as her events are concerned, and when different things are going on, she invites me out and is like, come and sell your books and do your thing. I just love what it is that you're doing. And sickle cell is something that has touched my family as well. So, we've been talking ongoing about maybe doing a workshop or working on some different projects together. And we're still in the talks, but we're working on a journal now. So, something for her population, for their families, for their friends to have. to write, to express themselves. She is definitely a person that does not think inside the box. So she really wanted something that allowed the person, not to be in the constraints of, a regular journal, but just to be able to, express themselves very freely and have ownership and decide where they want to put what and what they want to put. So I'm super excited about the work that they are doing. They have an annual walk. They host a number of events. She knows her family. She gives back to her families. She's planning to do some things, with her families at Children's Hospital, and she has all kind of creative ideas and different things. So I just appreciate her allowing me the opportunity to work with her and be a part of some of the things that she continues to do. So those are my shout outs to nonprofit organizations in Columbus, Ohio, and them actually, giving back and doing things and not just pimping the poor. Because they're actually utilizing and working with, like I talked about, contracting, hiring, purchasing from that population that they serve. Okay, so if you just serve a population, and I couldn't name some organizations where that's the feeling that I get. They serve a specific population and they use them for numbers and they use them to gain financially, but they don't actually utilize their gifts and their abilities and their talents to actually sow back into that community and really make an impact and make a change. So that's it about nonprofits. And I did want to speak about my last live. So if you didn't see that, I was a little bit upset, kind of distraught. I was going through some things actually with the Corporation Square. So I wanted to provide an update. I had some funds being held, but I did get my money back, and I really got it back pretty quickly. I think, I went on Twitter and I, did like a Twitter tirade, and, everybody can see that. And, when you add the actual corporation and business in there, or when somebody else asks them about something and then I respond to them, they responded pretty quickly. And I, made my case for, why it was not valid for them to hold on to my money. So I got my money back. And then what I did is I actually am working with another huge conglomerate, Chase. So, I do my business banking with Chase, and then I got their merchant thing. So, I will be utilizing this from here on out. It takes, you can swipe or you can put the card in for the chip reader. So we will see how this goes. So far it just hasn't been as user friendly, but we'll work it out. We'll see how it goes, and everything happens for a reason. So I'm believing this happened for a reason, and I know the best will come of it. But I will actually be using this weekend. So if you're interested in purchasing some books from me, or any number of different arts, jewelry, paintings. There'll be a lot of artisans out there, clothing at Festivus, and that's going to be this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that's at 400 West Rich Street, and it's in the Franklinton Arts District. So I will be out there all 3 days. So definitely come out, say hello. And it's an excellent day. I mean, they have music, they have food. There's lots of stuff to do. Lots of beautiful art. Lots of very awesome people. Very eclectic. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. So I hope if you have the opportunity, you do come out to Festivus this weekend. You can come and say hello to me. I would love that. I get so super excited when people are like, yeah, I came to see. Oh my God. You came to see, huh? So, if you get the opportunity to come out, definitely come out. But thank you all so much. Thank you everyone who watched. I saw all the love, all the hearts, and all the thumbs up. So you guys have me pumped up. When I was when I started out, I was like roll. I was pretty hyped. So thank you all so much for your continued support and your love. And I'll talk to you later. Bless up, black up, peace.